Hi, I'm Brian.
Hey everybody, back for a little bit of an unexpected project here, but an important project nonetheless. We are learning from our solar system, which is doing exactly what it should, but one of the things it's teaching us is just how inefficient our trailer is. Really, looking back, probably not all that surprising, and this is really for a lot of RVers out there. Either you know this or you don't know this. You may already know, but if you don't know, this is maybe a wake-up. Solar is definitely doable, but it will teach you kind of where all the problem areas are. So as we've been using our solar system, we're finding out how inefficient the trailer is. And if I'm not sure what order I'll do these in, but there's going to be a lessons learned video on our solar in general and kind of specific to a trailer, because there are I won't say issues necessarily, but pitfalls. If you really got to do your homework is the point. So what I'm working on today is actually going to be some solar shade screens, because we're finding out that basically our air conditioner, our mini split, is just having to work a lot harder and a lot longer than we ever anticipated it would, and that's due to poor insulation, poor sealing of gaps and cracks, and windows and things like that. So one of the projects that was fairly easy, I think, to tackle is the windows, just throwing some solar shade screens over them. Not uncommon here in Arizona. Even in our house before this, we had shade screens on them. So nothing fancy. I'm just going to make a rectangular frame to put on the outside of the windows and fill that with a nice solar shade screen. So I'll show you some of the equipment and tools involved. The first thing, I've got some stuff laying around here. This one's a little large. Some lengths of screen frame. This is all from Home Depot, by the way, or Lowe's, whatever you prefer. It's got a kind of a groove there. That's where the spline will go, which actually holds the screen material in place. In my case, I'm getting a solar screen material. It says Sun Guard there, but I've got a roll or two of this guy. You might just do regular screen if you're doing these somewhere else, but solar screen for us. The spline that I mentioned is right here. A spline tool, which actually kind of pushes that spline into that groove with the screen material in there. Some corners to connect the corners of the frame, and for the outside, once we go to mount them, some clips. What do they call them? Screen fasteners. Basically, you screw a little clip into the outside of the trailer, and it kind of twists, kind of to just lock over the frame of the screen. So it's not all that complex a job, I don't think. I'm about to get started, but the hardest part actually is doing a little bit of math to make sure you minimize the waste. These particular screen frame lengths came in 7-foot lengths. So as you measure all the pieces you need, and obviously you need 2 widths and 2 heights for each window, the hardest part really is making sure you don't start cutting this thing up and have to just throw a bunch of it away, because it doesn't give you a length that you need. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay everybody, so quick pro tip to share here. I went off to measure for my cuts. I'm just going to cut this with a hacksaw, by the way. I went to measure for my cuts, and I almost made a mistake, and I think I caught myself. So I just want to share it. These, as I said, you've got some plastic corner pieces to put these frame pieces together. So they're going to fit together kind of like so here, right? That's just gonna go in there, and that spline is going to run. You're going to put the screen material here. You're going to run that spline down there, and it's going to run this corner. What that means, though, is if you measure just the size you want the screen to be, right here, you got to account for this corner piece, because every piece of frame that you cut actually needs to be short by the amount that it's going to kind of stop when it hits that this corner piece is going to add. So in this case, this little square here in the corner of this corner piece is 3/4 of an inch square. So basically, whatever the length of the screen is, I want to subtract 3/4 of an inch here and 3/4 of an inch on the other end, because there's obviously going to be another one of those there. There's going to be 4 of these per window per screen. So that's something you got to offset your measurements to account for this little corner piece that's actually going to make up some of the length of your rectangle. So just wanted to share that. I'm going to continue marking up my pieces, and we'll show a couple cuts in a minute. So it's time to start making some cuts here. I've got some marks on my frame and a hacksaw, so I'm going to head outside to make some cuts. I'll take you out there with me, but I won't be able to talk because it's yet another windy day here, so just going outside to work so I don't make a mess here. Let's head outside. Alright, so I'll go ahead and show you a screen construction in a minute, but I just wanted to show you my first attempt here, and it is pretty obvious if you look close here that I was way too concerned with pulling the screen tight. I've actually kind of bowed the sides of the frame in. I think it'll still do its job, but that wasn't the intent, so I'm definitely going to ease up on that on the future ones and see if I can get those a little straighter. It also made the screen kind of twist quite a bit, the frame, so I think I can improve that. The other thing I want to mention about this is the first one installed, obviously. The other thing I want to mention is all these screws you're looking at here, I went back after the fact on all the windows and took those back out and put them back in with some silicone sealant just to prevent any water issues from getting in there. So this is my first one up on the window, but I think I can do better. So I'll show you putting one together and then installing the rest of them here. So let's get on to that. This one wants to twist a little bit less. I didn't pull quite as hard, but it's still nice and tight. So hopefully I didn't kind of bow in the frame like I did on the other. We'll see when I put it up on the window. 2 down, 4 to go.